today?
Let's see. Wait. Christchurch shooting, Xinjiang re-education camp. Oh, how terrible.
Well, seems like no news is good news.
But why there are so many bad news in our news stories? I mean, we should have other things to talk about.
Yeah, that question had been in my mind too.
Interesting. We should find out.
Welcome to our topic for today.
Why negative news dominates the headlines. When we read daily news, it seems like bad things happen every day.
Yeah, I can't remember how many times I see plagues, crises, murders or wars.
Lots of negative events make headlines. I just wonder why these journalists think people like to read them.
Well, but maybe people do like them.
Nonsense. You think people like these miserable things appear day after day?
Actually, an experiment was conducted to find out people's news selection behaviors.
Cool. What was that study about?
The study was called Consumer Demand for Cynical and Negative News Frames. The experiment was conducted by 2 American researchers in a psychological way. Participants were invited from McGill University in Canada, and in order to avoid unrealistic results, participants came to a lab and supposed they were involved in a study of eye tracking.
Oh, a deception strategy to make people behave naturally.
Exactly. The experiment consisted of 2 phases. In phase 1, participants were asked to read news stories related to politics on the news websites. They were taught that it didn't matter what contents they were reading. And in phase 2, they watched a short video and then answered what kind of political news they would like to read.
Got it. So that participants selected news by themselves and then answered the questions?
Right. The video itself wasn't important at all. It was all about how people select news and their thoughts toward them.
Then what was the result?
It was surprising. It turned out that participants often chose stories with a negative tone. They selected news with context, like corruption, setbacks, hypocrisy. But interestingly, when they were asked about their preference, their response was, "Oh, I prefer positive news."
It didn't make sense. So it means people actually love bad news, yet they don't think they are.
I don't want to admit that, but it's true. And you know what? For those people who were more interested in following current affairs, they had more tendency to choose negative news.
It is quite contradictory. People think they like positive things, but actually they are not.
Right. The researchers gave 2 reasons that can possibly explain this phenomenon.
Number 1, negative bias. People choose bad news because of so-called negative bias. Negative bias means that bad stuff causes greater impact on people than good stuff. For instance, you experience a happy and joyful day with your friends. Everything is great until you get back home. Your mom tells you that she accidentally broke your favorite mug in the morning. You suddenly feel like it's the end of the world, and you forget all the happiness moment. This is just an example of being trapped by negative bias. Why people have negative bias? An explanation is that people need to avoid danger. According to previous experiment, people respond faster to negative words. They respond quicker to words like cancer, bomb, or war than baby, smile, or fun.
Number 2, superiority illusion. Superiority illusion is a term in social psychology field. It refers to a common belief of people that they are better than average. Take our news stories topic for instance. People tend to watch bad news is because they think they live in a better world than the circumstances in the news. They feel everything will be alright in the end. And if it's not, well, at least they are in a better living condition than these miserable stories.
So that's why people subconsciously like negative news. But however, it also causes some side effects in our daily life. Originally, we want to know what we need, so we watch news. But we unconsciously take it as a TV show and watch news to kill time.
Just like the other program, news also needs TV ratings to make profits, so they must try to get the audience attention.
Therefore, news channel will be about something negative or sensational to increase the TV rate. The need to pursue news and knowledge turns out to be the satisfaction of those media's TV rating.
Well, it doesn't seem to be a good phenomenon. So what is the influence of negative news?
The psychologist said that the news are full of kinds and miserable things. When people are surrounded by this negative message, we are likely to feel helpless and hopeless.
Yeah, it makes sense. For me, I sometimes feel sad after watching negative news. But because the media sends me these messages frequently and unstoppingly, my brain starts to get used to them.
Truly speaking, we can't make things better when it comes to political affairs or disaster happened around the world. In many situations, we don't mean to be indifferent, but it feels like we are running out of feelings, and our compassion is overdrafted. This is the so-called compassion fatigue. Although it seems that there is no hope of Taiwan's news media, but I think we still have the right and ability to choose what we read. And never forget the importance of critical thinking. Never forget to ask why when we read an article or news.